Hey guys, welcome to BSL Season 16 Hasuleague. Game 1 of the round of 16 Group B. Upper left hand corner we have Guass, starting as the yellow Protoss. He was part of the group that we ended up missing. Upper right hand corner we have Nilsi starting as, or Monkey Balls, starting as the green Protoss. He's got a lot of AKAs, but that's Nilsi overall. This is going to be on Nemesis, which is completely flat across all corners. It is going to be PvP with no high ground. I don't know what to say about this map as far as, I mean, it's just got wide open area here, which I think makes it a little bit. So first of all, you have Dark Templar are always going to be a thing here, right? Because the Dark Templar can sneak across these Zerg eggs and attack from the rear. But on top of that, there's just a lot of open space. And usually that means it's going to be a little bit more challenging to defend Reavers and Shuttles in the mid game, unless you have a sizable ground army to follow it up. So I'm wondering if we're going to see PvP with a little bit higher gateway count on Nemesis overall. We'll have to see. Looks like we are seeing a counterclockwise early scout after Pylon from Guass. I'm wondering if he's going to try to sneak a 12 Nexus here. We are seeing a gateway opener. Looks like not. Gateway plopping down. Maybe we're going to see the double gateway play instead. I'm actually looking for a Protoss to try to sneak a 12 Nexus against another Protoss. I know that's not meta, but I'm wondering, I'm sure it's been done. Would have been a death maneuver, however, in this situation, because we do have the 10-12 gate opening for Nilsi. It looks like he is going to get first scout as well. Unfortunate here for Guass. Looks like Guass, however, opening up double gateways as well. Was going to be, oh, never mind. So Nilsi going to end up scouting his opponent last if he continues the current scouting pattern. So it's going to be Zealot versus Zealot in the early stages of the match. I presume it is just going to be the 3 Zealot dedication both ends. And right now it's just mirrored builds, which is actually giving a little bit of an economic lead to Nilsi, as he didn't send out that earlier probe, so he sent that probe scout out on delay. And that's the difference of a good amount of minerals. Wish I knew it was precisely in my brain. Also reflected in a little bit earlier Pylon. Zealot and probe blocking the ramp, trying to deny information. Still working with the vertical mouse right this second, which is still growing accustomed to it. But a quick assimilator grab behind it, the probe finding the front and withdrawing. I'm wondering, yeah, it looks like this is actually going to be a complement of 5 Zealots to assault that natural expansion rather than the typical 3. 2 Zealots blockading. And we'll see if there's any gas take after this, or if it's going to be the full dedication all the way around. Still no gas being grabbed, so this might just be straight up Zealots. Some Zealots checking the upper, that was wise, checking the north just to make sure that nothing crazy was being snuck. An additional Pylon and a cybernetics core to the rear. Probe wandering up, sees the 3 Zealots initially, but doesn't know about the additional Zealot production behind this. Still no gas grab. So is this going to be Zealot Forge expand? No, additional Zealots are being produced. 1 Zealot chasing this off. Nilsi actually pulling this probe away might not have the critical information required to know to keep up the count. Initial 2 Zealots, or 2 Dragoons being produced. Guass having some trouble collecting his units. He's still got 2 sitting at home base, and they needed to be part of this attack grouping. Assimilator warping in. So 5 Zealots to assault 3 Zealots with a shield battery support and 2 Dragoons. Yeah, I think this has been scouted behind everything else. That probe also waiting in the wings could be part of this. Better concavity by far from Nilsi in the initial engagement point. And that looked like it just got obliterated. Never mind, actually. Still able to break the way through. Now making the way maybe to the probe lines. No, it's still got absolutely ransacked. So able to make their way through. Maybe let's see if there is a probe kill, singular. 1 probe does die. That does give Guass the 1 probe lead, but continuing to march Zealots in. As the ramp not blocked, also the Zealots still waiting on the lower wing. lower wings, so might be able to join this fray. 3 Dragoons now out, but Nilsi having trouble. 4 Dragoons on his end. Still very close. Still has the worker lead overall. Lost another probe. That's going to even it up. Able to clear things up, but this could be an X factor down the line. Forged Citadel of Adun follow-up. And Nilsi in a scenario where he can grab that look. So going up to 3 gate. Let's see if he goes up to 3 gate Robo. Guass also floating a lot of minerals. Looked like that Zealot that was sneaking to the lower location has been spotted. There's going to be some proxy tech from Guass. I assume in the form of a gateway, maybe a DT. Cannons being planted to provide some follow-up defense. Like I said, yeah. And is this the probe that... Did it already... Yeah, okay, so it's already on the interior as well. Still need to take down those eggs to make their way through. How many gateways are going to end up back here is the next question. And will it matter as a counterattack now moving out for Nilsi? And he might be able to just barrel down, wipe out what's there. Probe able to sneak through to the north, maybe to get some additional scouting information. Nilsi setting up to go ahead and grab a Nexus. From his perspective, I don't know that he really needs to assault down into this. Yeah, I can just occupy. He's got a sense that there's... Is he building a forge? He's got the robotics facility under construction. I don't know if it's going to be in time, though. Yeah, it's... So it's going to come down to an emergency cannon. Keep in mind with this DT built on location, it still needs to go through those eggs, so it's going to be a minute. Nilsi sensing the follow-up DT attack, holding. 2 DTs actually walking up the front, so information has been revealed that DTs are out. Nilsi dropping 1 cannon towards the forward line. Will he also drop a cannon in the rear defense line is the next question. Dark Templar sweeping. This might pin the forces to the front. Observatory being dropped. Now it's a race between the Zerg eggs in the rear and the observatory being constructed. I don't know if that cannon reaches or not. Nilsi bleeding a few Dragoons and units out on the front. They're being led away. The Dark Templar able to make it into the rear, but I don't know if there's sufficient cannon coverage to prevent it from getting to the Nexus, so it might be a win on technicality. However, the observatory has completed, the observer being constructed, and now probes being wiped out in the rear lines, gathered up. Let's see if they retreat to the cannon. Right now, a massacre, however, plus additional Dragoons and Zealots have been wiped out on the front. The observer spawns, moving to the wrong location, however. And with this, Guass able to take the worker lead, a pretty good... Looks like he's going to get some exterior buildings. Sneaking at Nexus at the 6 o'clock. Wow, this guy. Okay, we know what he's about. And still with the single observer, it's going to be a challenge for Nilsi to take care of the Dark Templar that are latently out in the field. Fortunately, it looks like he's going to lead it to the little bit of infrastructure here at the 3 o'clock. Might have even gone for taking that. No, he's holding short. Interesting. The probe. Let's see if the probe walks through and finds it. Dark Templar still working on some Dragoons that are walking out in the field. So Guass, not going to grab his natural expansion. Going to grab a base here at the 6 o'clock. He's not going to be able to transfer probes very easily to that site. The Dragoon sees that there's no natural. Dark Templar wanting to take another swag here at the main. There's a cannon waiting for him this time, so not going to get it accomplished. Still manages to get a probe kill. But Guass now 9 probes up. An okay tech lead. And Nilsi very much in the dark. And also, I don't know why he would ever think to scout that 6 o'clock. He's going to scoop up a probe of his own, it looks like, and try to shuttle out and take a sneaky base himself. Is going to find that hidden tech here at the 3 o'clock. Wonder if that's going to make him think twice about dropping a Nexus here. Also gives an indicator to Guass that there is a shuttle out in play. Dark Templar scrambling back. There's an observer to go ahead and prevent any additional damage at the Nexus at the natural. But Guass now, if he just macros up, in a pretty strong position, working on +1 weapons. That 150, what is it, 250 investment here at the 3 o'clock, well worth it. And the Dark Templar actually look like they want to try to open things up and maybe mix it up against these troops here. Zealot streaming across. They've got that Zealot leg speed as well. Is this... I don't know that this has been scouted. So Zealots are going to lose that fight. Probe gets wiped out. A grouping of Zealots waiting nearby to engage the reinforcements. And with that Zealot leg speed could do a lot of damage. So Nilsi scattering, trying to retreat to his natural expansion. He's got another grouping of Dragoons there. Let's see if there's Sidestorm has already been researched, because this is going to be a large, grouped up amount of Zealots eating a lot of Sidestorm. Few probes being caught over that edge. Guass with a gigantic supply lead. A lot of that is in workers, keep in mind. And Nilsi once again retreating defensively. The High Templar look like they're going to be able to exit. They've got a lot. Looks like I like this play here from Guass, also scouting there. It looks like... Okay, so 6 o'clock location was scouted. And now we're seeing some cannons up on the high ground to try to deny this base. Shuttle waiting out there to spot the 9 o'clock. And this is a long way to send reinforcements to clear that up as well. Although Nilsi does need to worry about his natural expansion as Dark Templar grouping up. The High Templar look like they've got another 2 Psystorms to drop. And with a little bit of support, that Psystorm could be devastating. The cannon doesn't... Okay, it does range. About to say, I don't know that it ranges that location. However, beautiful Psystorms from Guass over the Dragoons to soften them up. Doesn't look like, oh, he left some of his army behind. But this still might be sufficient to go ahead and breach that natural expansion, get some additional probes. So it's going to be tit for tat. Yes, that cannon, and maybe a second cannon denying that third, but it's going to be a base for a base here. Nilsi trying to force troops up to engage on that high ground. Guass not biting down, however, and it looks like he might just be able to sit here and take this Nexus out. But with cannons, that 6 o'clock base going to be denied. And Guass already has his natural expansion up and running. I'm actually curious if he's just going to draw his probes out and transfer them to location. A shuttle is up, but I don't think Nilsi... Okay, he's got Dark Templar of his own now. Do we have a robotics facility? We have some cannons. Some. Robotics facility still being constructed. We have a cannon alongside that Nexus. That could be an easy kill, however. So it's going to come down to timing and where that shuttle lands. A single Dark Templar moving out. The probes are being transferred back to the natural expansion. Huge supply lead for Guass. But this lone Dark Templar making its way out. I think that's going to be the last shot overall for Nilsi. Bases denied. At least the edge. These 3 piles denied. Shuttle under fire, sees the cannon. Looking for an opportunity. It looks like he's just going to back out and not drop the DT. And that's allowing time for the units to scramble back. Oh, that shuttle. He just holds. Nope. Okay, so now Nilsi going to try to grab that 3 o'clock. Maybe re-expand. Dark Archon out on the front. Do we have Mind Control or Maelstrom upgraded? Maybe Feedback? Cannons being morphed up on the high ground defensively from Guass. All he needs to do to win this match is macro. Single Dragoon trying to blockade. I would actually just take these assimilators down to leave the defensive seal there at this stage if I was Nilsi. Looks like he's going to leave it up. He's distance mining for the moment on a bit of an early transfer. So it looks like it's the edge minerals that are accessible, but not the interior minerals with what's left. So I don't know if I want to call that 3.5 or what. Guass moving out some High Templar to go for some additional storm drops, potentially at the main. I don't know if that Archon's going to be able to press back in time. And it's going to be a two-pronged distractionary attack. So moving down, engaging the Archon. High Templar drop. Not a lot to storm here, but there is some. And now making their way towards the third. Bit of a scattered attacking still happening. And more probes getting caught by that storm. Ugh, 14 left now for Nilsi. And that, I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin. 45 workers versus 10. Across 3 bases rather than 2, although you do have those cannons. Follow-up attack from Guass, now moving into the 3 o'clock. Gonna wipe out the cannons there. Troops not coming in to engage the probes. Again, fleeing. There's GG. One of the more chaotic PvPs I've seen in a while. Well played by Guass. He will move on to the winner's match. Nilsi will have another shot. He's a strong contender in the loser's bracket. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give a like and subscribe if you did. Thanks for listening.